Our solar system contains 8 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Terrestrial planets and gas giants are the two main types of planets in our solar system. Exoplanets are planets that orbit stars other than our own. While the universe is a vast place to explore, we must not overlook our own backyard. There's more than enough to learn for a few lifetimes with 8 planets and a plethora of smaller worlds to explore. So, what are some of the planet's most surprising features? A few points are highlighted below. Number 1, Venus has no moons. Both Mercury and Venus have no moons, which is surprising given that there are dozens of others in the solar system. Saturn, for example, has over 60. Some moons are nothing more than captured asteroids, which is what happened to Mars' 2 moons, for example. So, what distinguishes these planets? Nobody knows why Venus doesn't have one, but one line of research suggests it might have had one in the past. Number 2, in the past, Mars had a thicker atmosphere. What a contrast in the inner solar system, almost no atmosphere on Mercury, a runaway hothouse greenhouse effect in Venus' thick atmosphere, temperate conditions on much of Earth, and then a thin atmosphere on Mars. However, if you look at the planet, you can see gullies carved in the past by likely water. Water requires more atmosphere, so Mars once had more. What happened to it? Some scientists believe it's because the sun's energy pushed lighter molecules out of Mars' atmosphere over millions of years, gradually reducing the thickness. Number 3, Mercury is hot, but not too hot for ice. The surface of the closest planet to the Sun does contain ice. At first glance, this may appear surprising, but the ice is found in permanently shadowed craters, those that never receive sunlight. It is thought that comets brought this ice to Mercury in the first place. In fact, NASA's Messenger spacecraft discovered organics, which are the building blocks of life, as well as ice at the North Pole. Mercury is far too hot and devoid of oxygen for life as we know it, but it demonstrates how these elements are distributed throughout the solar system. Number 4, nobody knows how old the rings of Saturn are. Saturn is surrounded by a field of ice and rock debris that appears as rings from a distance. Early telescope observations of the planet in the 1600s were perplexing. Does it have ears, moons, or what? With higher resolution, it became clear that the gas giant was surrounded by a ring of small bodies. It's possible that the rings were formed by a single moon tearing apart under Saturn's strong gravity. Perhaps they've been around for billions of years, unable to coalesce into a larger body but resistant enough to gravity not to break up. Number 5, Jupiter is a great comet catcher. The most massive planet in the solar system most likely had a significant impact on its history. With 318 times the mass of Earth, any asteroid or comet passing close to Jupiter has a good chance of being captured or diverted. Perhaps Jupiter was partly to blame for the massive bombardment of small bodies that peppered our young solar system early in its history, leaving scars on the Moon that can still be seen today. In 1994, astronomers around the world witnessed a once-in-a-lifetime event, a comet, Shoemaker-Levy 9, breaking up under Jupiter's gravity and slamming into the atmosphere. Number 6, you can see Earth's magnetic field at work during light shows. Our planet is surrounded by a magnetic field that shields us from the radiation and particles emitted by the sun. That's a good thing, because such flare-ups can be deadly to unprotected people. This is why NASA monitors solar activity for astronauts on the International Space Station, for example. In any case, auroras are visible in the sky because particles from the sun flow along magnetic field lines and interact with Earth's upper atmosphere. Number 7, Neptune has supersonic winds. While we are concerned about hurricanes on Earth, the strength of these storms is nowhere near that of Neptune. According to NASA, winds can reach speeds of over 1,100 miles per hour at its highest altitudes. To put that in context, that is faster than the speed of sound at sea level on Earth. Why Neptune is so blustery is a mystery, especially given how little heat there is at such a great distance from the sun. Number 8, Uranus is more stormy than we thought. When the Voyager 2 spacecraft passed by Uranus in the 1980s, scientists saw a mostly featureless blue ball and assumed there wasn't much activity on the planet. We've looked at the data more closely since then, and it does show some interesting movement in the southern hemisphere. Furthermore, the planet moved closer to the Sun in 2007, and recent telescope probing has revealed some storms. It's difficult to say what's causing all of this activity unless we send another probe that way. Unfortunately, no missions are currently planned to zoom out to that part of the solar system. Number 9, Saturn is the flattest planet. Because of its low density and fast rotation, its polar diameter is 90% of its equatorial diameter. Saturn rotates on its axis once every 10 hours and 34 minutes, giving it the solar system's second shortest day. Number 10, the Earth was once believed to be the center of the universe. Because of the apparent movements of the Sun and planets in relation to their point of view, ancient scientists insisted that the Earth remained static while other celestial bodies moved in circular orbits around it. Copernicus eventually postulated that the Sun was at the center of the universe, which is also incorrect. There you have our top 10 facts about the planets in our solar system. In case you were wondering about Pluto, planets are just a few of the many worlds and smaller objects that orbit the Sun. The International Astronomical Union adopted the following formal definition of planet in 2006. A planet is a celestial body that is in orbit around the Sun, has enough mass to overcome rigid body forces and assume a hygrostatic equilibrium, nearly round shape, and has cleared the area around its orbit. Pluto, according to this definition, is not a planet, but has been designated a dwarf planet because it has not yet cleared its orbit. This definition is being debated, particularly among members of the planetary science community, and it may yet be refined. Thanks for watching, and please support us here at Fun Facts Galore.